Hello, I'm Archie Luxury, and welcome to the program Fuckers. Hello, fuckers. How are you miserable assholes today, hey? How are you miserable fuckers? And it's been a hard time. I've had a fucking hard time. I've had some cyclists come to me. Well, all I can say to those nasty cyclists is, especially one nasty fucker there, one nasty fucker who's Jordan McInnes. I hope you get hit by a B-double semi-fucking trailer. That's what I hope happens to you, you fucking parasite. You fucking maggot parasite piece of shit. And I'm wearing my gold sub today, so, you know, my temper is a little bit, it's a little bit short for maggots and pieces of trash. And if you don't like this channel, just fuck off. And, you know, I've got no qualms, you know. I don't want any other, you know, nasty fuckers there, nasty fuckers. And it's like that parasite I was friends with before. The fucker who's sucking on the teat of society, you fucking miserable piece of shit. And some of these parasites, you know, he criticizes my e-begging, but he's sucking on the teat of society, you lazy maggots. And now that I got the gold sub, I can fucking tell people the fucking truth. And with that said, we've now got a, I got an email in from Thomas Shea, and he says to me, he sent me a long email, he sent me $30, thank you so much, Thomas. He says, I've been considering my first watch purpose, I'm 40, I do software development here in Seattle. Seattle is a city filled with passive-aggressive pussies, and I find your channel a breath of fresh air. Thank you. I've been considering a purchase from Tag Heuer. Now, I suppose I may be reconsidering, but I made my selection based on looks primarily and trying a few things on, but I hadn't considered some of your points being new to watches and being ignorant. I like your points about the Japanese nearly killing the whole industry, and they've done it with other industries as well. So Tag Heuer betting up with these fuckers is somewhat of a cheat and a disgrace, I agree. But here is an example where the Japanese became a real player, which is why I wasn't initially turned off by Tag using Seiko Instruments movement. Single malt. The fuckers make some great single malts. And I'd have to agree with you there. You know something, Thomas? I reckon the best single malts in the world are Japanese. And it's true. It's true. It's true. The Yamazaki, that's fantastic. It's he goes on a bit there. He says okay, just a point to consider. Check out the malt and see for yourself. He goes on to say, other watches I love, the Rolex GMT Master, Coke bezel. In software I read a lot of errors, but there are what the fuck? In software I read a lot of errors that are in other time zones. So having a watch show multiple time zones appeals to me. After watching a show, I learned there are GMT chronographs. However, my girlfriend works for a jewelry store and is able to get a tag at cost over 10%. At cost plus 10%. While still having to be a legit authorized dealer purchased. Okay, so the store doesn't sell Rolex, it's got tag. P.S. Your gold sub kicks ass, and I think it's awesome. Some things you have to keep. Other things you can own, then dump. I think the gold sub should be a keep item for you. Respectfully, Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. It's great to hear from you, and thank you for that donation. Unlike some other cheap fucks out there. Okay, let's have a talk about it. Okay, firstly, I got to tell you a few things. Number one, less is more. I'm starting to discover this. And it's kind of funny, you know, a lot of people, they think a wristwatch is like a Swiss Army knife, where you've got all these attachments and, you know, you want a chronograph, you want GMT, you want this, you just rattle it off. Well, hang on a minute. Let's back the truck up, and I just got to tell you, less is more. Okay, so let me just explain what I mean. I'm just reaching over for my bag here. Fuck, where's that thing gone? Fuck, where's that fucking thing gone now? Sorry about that, Thomas. I just dropped some shit here. As I was saying there, less is more. And I'll give you a classic example of less is more. Have a look at the design of the Reverso. It's just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. However, one Reverso I really love is my new Reverso Tribute to 1931, which doesn't even have a second hand. It's just hours and minutes. And I think it's just the ultimate in refinement. Another watch I just recently bought was my Breguet Type 20. And this one doesn't even have a date. And I tell you something, I think it's actually better without the date. Why am I telling you this story? Well, the reason is, Thomas, is that I think myself, you want a decent GMT watch, don't get a GMT watch, which is also a chronograph, okay? Back the truck up. Why do you have to have everything on one fucking watch? My advice to you, forget the tag. Dog shit. Doesn't matter if it's fucking free. My opinion's not going to change, okay? The fact you can get a deal on it is bullshit. You go to my friend Kenny Nguyen from Jewelers on Time, buy a pre-owned GMT. That's a much better fucking investment than a fucking tag, even at cost. So, my advice is, you want a chronograph? Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon, Breguet Type 20. But my first watch, if I were you, go and get a Rolex GMT. Now, I gotta tell you something. You know, a lot of people say, do I get the Coke dial? Do I get the Pepsi? Do I get the Black? Fuck me dead. These wankers ask me questions like it's the end of the world if they get the choice wrong. Doesn't matter. They're all good. Any Rolex GMT is fucking fantastic. So, don't be disappointed. All of them are great. It doesn't matter. Someone said, oh, do I get the no date or do I get the date Submariner? Man, it doesn't matter. They're both good choices. Just go with the flow. That's my advice. Too many people consider, you know, instead of, the important thing is you're getting a Rolex. Doesn't really matter. Do you go white dial or black dial Explorer 2? Doesn't fucking matter really. Doesn't really matter, okay? They're both pretty cool. They're both pretty cool. So, that's my advice to you there, is to go with a good watch. Forget the tag, it's bullshit. No respect from any watch aficionados. It's a novice's watch. The Tag Heuer is a novice's watch. GMT chronographs, don't mix the two. Keep them separate. Okay? Keep them separate. That's my advice to you. Keep those fuckers separate. That is the advice. Get a GMT and then get a Omega Speedmaster Man on the Moon, or get something like a Breguet, something cool and funky, fuckers. That's my opinion. I think there's only 3 good GMT options if you want a GMT. There's one, the Rolex GMT, and that's either GMT 1 or GMT 2. There's the Explorer 2 from Rolex, and the third option is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Duro, where you have a different time zone. It has 2 faces, and you can flip it over, and you can have a different time zone on each face. That's the only 3 GMTs that I would personally accept. GMT chronos, stay away from it. Stay away from it, okay? Stay away from it. And at the moment, I've got a Longines GMT chrono for sale. It's cheap. It's fucking cheap. Doesn't mean dog shit, okay? Just fucking, my advice to you, keep it separate. That's the best way to go. So, thank you so much, Thomas, for that donation too. I really do appreciate it. It's a cool thing to get nice gifts like that. So, let's just take a small commercial break. I highly recommend Kenny Nguyen, Jewelers on Time. Go and talk to Kenny. He will look after you. He will look after you. That's my advice.
We specialize here in pre-owned Rolex watches. Rolex watch is a very special timepiece, and we always do the servicing exactly as factory specifications. We buy a pre-owned piece and we put it into brand new condition. We have Rolex certified technicians working on that. We completely disassemble the piece, we adjust and polish and change every single part of the watch.
You have to have certified watchmakers that know what they're doing. If you have an expensive car, you're just not going to bring it to any mechanic that doesn't know what they're doing.
You spend $5,000, it's like if you put money in the safe deposit box. And 1 or 2 years from now, you will keep having your $5,000. We have to spend a lot of money to get all this equipment together, but makes me feel I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not a question of money, it's my passion.
Jewelers on time, simply the best.
Kenny Nguyen. And the next thing I want to talk about is sneaky fuckers. Sneaky fuckers! And I just got this email in from Philip Beer. He goes, hi, a friend has handed down this watch. A friend had this watch handed down to him from a family member. It's a genuine Breitling, but can't find any info on the model or possible value. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, I do, Philip. I do. I charge US $10 to authenticate a watch. Please PayPal to archieluxury72@gmail.com. That's your advice. Send me $10. I'll give you an opinion. So, I don't do shit for free, Philip! I don't do shit for free. So, yeah. Always nice how these sneaky fuckers try and get free advice out of me. You can fuck off, that's for sure. What else is interesting here? I got an email in from Andy Hunter. Just saw your video where you speak about changing your diet. Search the Diet Doctor on YouTube and watch him. Yeah, Andy, I'm not so happy about you being in this Magnificent Seven with that cunt who backstabbed me before. I kind of like Andy, but the way he sucks up that old bastard's ass just really fucks me off, that's for sure. What else have we got happening here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. We've answered Thomas's email. We've got, let's have a look here. People always asking for free advice, you know, it's just funny, you know. I got this guy who asked me about a Lindbergh. Hi Arch, thanks for your articles about Lindbergh watches. I have a Longines 18K Lindbergh hour angle watch, purchased in the early 80s by my father. Could you give me some info on the value and history? For free? You want the advice for free? Fuck off! And yeah, just, you know, people just give you the shit sometimes. They just try and suck the life out of you. And the other interesting thing is, you know, I like how some of these fuckers they start, you know. I had a guy from Sydney, Mark. Hi Arch, how much do you want for the gold sub? And I said, I'm in Brisbane, Australia. I want $17,500 US, about 20,000. Just serviced and professionally polished. Includes the box. Let me know. And they're just really fucking haggly fuckers. You know, haggly. I'm turning 50 next year and I want to buy myself a Rolex. Still undecided about the model. Fucking wishy-washy fuckers. I was originally considering a day date 2 in gold, but since I've seen your gold sub, I like it too. Also not sure about new versus second hand, so I'm going to spend fucking 3 hours talking to him about the virtues of my watch. Just fuck off! Just fuck off! I said to him, price is 20,000 Aussie. No negotiation. Let me know if you're interested, or fuck right off. So that's you know, I don't know. These fuckers they just want to waste your time. They really just I don't know what to say. They're just fucking time fucking wasters. And who else am I talking to there? Let's have a look there. Who else was I talking to? I was just fucking freeloaders all over the place. Freeloaders and cheapies. They're just nasty fuckers there. I haven't had many people come to me about the Thailand. I got a Thailand Bangkok trip coming up soon. I want to get my ass over there soon. Let's have a look. Just going into the mailbag. Let's see if we can we can pull something out of the remnants of the mailbag there. Let's have a look here. What have we got? Let's see, what the fuck have we got here? Let's have a fucking look. Jesus Christ. I gotta go through this mailbag. This mailbag's starting to fucking bit overflowing there. Some really rich fuckers there. You know, some really, you know, none of these fucks, they want advice, but they won't pay you a cent. Just fucking cheap assholes. Well then, look, let's just wrap up my viewer email. That concludes viewer emails for the day, fuckers. I'm Archie Luxury. I'm wearing my gold sub. Tell me what you fuckers think of that. Nice one, Archie. Just, yeah, fuck them all. They're just cunts.
Hello, my name is Cherry. I want to help anyone in the Brisbane area looking for a quality late model, low kilometer used car. I'm looking for people in the Brisbane, Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast area of Queensland in Australia. You know, my friend Benny is an honest man who sells quality used cars. Benny is a good guy and he will look after you because Benny only sells quality cars. Please call Benny on 0432 279 202.